What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Dudes Who Bet Sports.
So you want to bet sports, but you need some advice on how to cash in big at a heck of a price. Well, if you want enough money to line your shorts, then you're in the right place. This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Dudes Who Bet Sports Show. And you can tell it's officially hockey season when Papa Dude's got the studio flipped around there. Now we got Tarasenko in the background instead of Rocky Kalmus. So how we doing, Papa Dude?
Doing great. The Blues are playing so well, and I just decided we're going to switch it around and go to hockey. And all I got to do is turn my desk around. That's all I have to do.
Half the room is St. Louis Blues, half the room OU. So we've officially flipped the desk here, and it's looking good. It's looking good. Yeah. I love the blue in the background.
Yeah, and I'm adding some stuff, the Blues, as I go along. So, yeah, one of these days there'll be just as much Blues as there is Sooners.
Yeah, the way it's going, it could take over the whole room by the time we're done here.
That would be good.
Good afternoon to Dennis and Sydney, who's joining us, like they kind of usually do, or sometimes do anyway. So glad you guys are on here. Before we get in, how was the Jersey retirement game? Oh, that was Chris Pronger's game. Let's get into that. Chris Pronger's jersey got retired. It was a great game. The Blues got behind and then came back and won the game against Nashville. That was a hell of a game, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a tremendous game and a huge game for the Blues. Still battling COVID problems, although they had some players back. They didn't have them all, I don't think. Did they?
No.
So get behind 2-0 right off the bat. In fact, I told Sandy, I said, it's enough of this shit. And we turned the channel for a little while, not very long. And I just checked the score. I said, oh, my God, it's 2-2. They tied it up, and what a game they played. And the Pronger thing was great. And they had that thing at 6:00, I believe. Right? And the game didn't start till like 7:30, I think.
Yep.
And they said the arena was almost full for that ceremony, which shows you how crazy hockey fans are in general.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the Blues fans. They're rabid fans.
Yeah, I agree, Sydney. I loved his beer prop. He chugged a Bud Light right after his speech. I thought that was awesome. Pronger showed a lot of, I guess emotion would be the right word for him, but just a lot of, he was thankful, and he was really, he showed a lot of character, I think is probably the best word to say it. It was an awesome speech. And, a guy that a lot of people didn't realize, I only knew it because I heard an interview with him not too long ago, that he left St. Louis, obviously, during his playing years, but he lives in St. Louis. It's basically, he's lived in St. Louis longer than anywhere else in his life. So it's kind of cool. And a lot of those guys do come back to St. Louis after they retire, even if they don't finish at that city, which just speaks a lot to the kind of place it is and how they treat hockey players there. They're definitely loved.
Oh, they are. They're gods. And you touched on it last week a little bit, how he was a little underappreciated in St. Louis, by me too, because it was an unpopular trade.
Yeah.
When they got him, and then the Blues dipped for a while, and he took a lot of the blame. And anyway, he showed a lot of class, I thought. It was really a good deal, and the Blues know how to do these things. They're really, really good at this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they did a really good job, like I said. So it was a good night. Good night. I'm glad you asked, Sydney. I didn't have anything to talk about before we got into the games, but the question sparked that. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to watch that. And then, of course, a lot of times those situations where you retire somebody's jersey or whatever, the game doesn't, the team doesn't play that well, and it looked like that was going to happen, and then they played really well. So it was good to see. All right, let's get into it, though. And you told me something interesting. You said, hey, I wrote these articles this week, and I've got stats and everything. I was like, you know what I could do? I could share the website on the screen instead of ESPN and kind of show people what you've been doing. And it's like, oh, that makes a ton of sense because the lines are right here on the website too. So we'll kick it off. A great idea, Papa Dude, with Cincinnati and Tennessee. And like I said, if you're watching live, you can see the website, what he's done here. Of course, as I do this one, we don't have lines for that game. Jeez. I think it's, let me look. I think it's 3.5. Right
it was,
now.
yeah. When I wrote the article, it was 3.5.
I don't know why the line didn't show up for that game. Maybe they've taken it off for a second with the book that we use here. Yeah, 3.5.
Is it over here on the other? No, it's not. Okay.
No, it's not. 3.5-point favorite for the Titans, and the over-under is 47.5. So I know the other articles have it on there. So anyway, 3.5-point favorite for the Titans, over-under 47.5. All right, where are we leaning here? Where are we going?
Well, as we go through this, you guys that are listening, feel free to argue. This is just an opinion on a lot of this stuff. When you go through, first of all, before we ever get started, I think these are 4 of the best games to watch and to handicap of any I can remember in a long time. These games are really, really good. I think for the most part, we have the best teams still left.
Yep.
And I really do. There weren't any upsets as well. Dallas is out, but that's questionable.
Yeah.
By the way, one more thing. Hey, remember that? That's going to be our.
Yep, that will do that. We definitely will do that.
Did you hear what Troy Aikman said?
No.
Have you seen this?
No.
They ask him what, and I've kind of hinted to this about Dallas for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Are they treated too much like gods in Dallas? And then when they get to the big game, the pressure, they can't handle it.
Yeah.
Are they in too much of the limelight? And he said yes. He said they have it too easy. He said their facilities are unbelievably better than anyone else's. And he said they have it too easy. And I thought that was really interesting. When you
actually asked that question before the game.
Yeah.
But you kind of said more of the opposite of are they under too much pressure or, and that kind of thing.
He said that too, but I thought it was interesting that he said they've got it too easy, and they take things for granted. And anyway, I thought that was really a fascinating thing he said, because I really have felt that that's been Oklahoma's problem for the last few years. I don't think they're pushed, and they're soft. Anyway, getting back to this, I think this game is going to be a classic. I really do. I don't think there's any question where the main advantage is, and that's a quarterback. I don't think anybody can argue that Cincinnati has a huge advantage at quarterback. And before we get into Tannehill, and I'm not going to knock him, they don't ask him to do a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because they play totally different than Cincinnati, the running game. Here's the key. Derrick Henry is going to play. So, how well conditioned is he? What kind of shape is he in? Can he go full throttle? Is he going to have to just play a few snaps and then come out? We don't know. That's going to be a big key. So I think, to me, it's an even game. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I do. I think the big key to the game is Derrick Henry, like you said. And I've got the stats up here and kind of how you broke down each position. And, look, there's no way around it. Burrow's thrown for 1,000 more yards. He's thrown for 15 more touchdowns, and they've thrown the same amount of interceptions. So, Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill. But can Derrick Henry kind of control the clock, and be looking like he was looking, where he was looking to have an MVP type season? Can he be that guy in this game? Coming off this kind of layoff, as a horse racing term there a little bit, but some horses, they come off layoffs and they need a race, and some pop right off the bat. Which one's he going to be? It's kind of interesting, because here's the deal. Cincinnati is going to get their points. I don't think Tennessee's defense is anything special. So for Tennessee to win, they're going to have to score. Now, the Cincinnati defense is not very good. It's probably good enough to contain Tannehill and a Derrick Henry that's not very good, or maybe he's not, effective at all, or minorly effective in the game. It's probably good enough to hold him to where they can beat him. I'm going to assume that he kind of looks like a guy with fresh legs, and I'm going to take Tennessee minus the 3.5. But out of all the picks I'm going to make today, this is the one I'm kind of skeptical on. I don't know, and the Derrick Henry issue, it has me worried about this game.
Yeah. Well, when you look at the offensive side of things, even if Henry is fully healthy, Cincinnati's got a running back that's pretty damn good. So I don't give Tennessee just a huge advantage in the running game. Receivers, there's no comparison. I mean, Cincinnati's got some. Jamar Chase is world class.
Yeah,
he's world class. Now I know the stats are a little tilted because Tennessee doesn't throw the ball much. I think they're better there. I think Tennessee might have a slightly better defense. I don't know just how much more. I'm going to go with the Bengals. I'm going to pick the Bengals to upset them. I won't be surprised if Tennessee wins. So this is a game where we're split on, and that's what you're supposed to be in games like this. These are matchups where you can make an argument for either team. I like the Tennessee toughness, the grittiness. I don't think the home field matters when you get this far. I just think Cincinnati's better. I just think they are, but it wouldn't surprise me if Tennessee wins.
You know, I was talking to Jared about this game off air the other day. Obviously off air. We didn't have a show the other day, but he was just kind of like, I just don't think Cincinnati can do it. I just don't think they're that good. And, you know, they're Cincinnati. And I said, the only thing about it, and I agree that, hey, it's Cincinnati and you can't count on them. Maybe winning last week gets them a little bit over the hump, right? And the pressure's kind of off of them. They're the underdog now. They're on the road. I think people think they can win, but they're not the favorite. They're not supposed to win this game, so to speak. They might play better this week. They might be relaxed. I think that's a dangerous aspect of it. Like I said, this is the one I went back and forth on. We had a really good week last week. It's going to be tough this week. They're much tougher games, like you said. I went back and forth on it. You're going Cincy. I'm going Tennessee.
Oh, we can't lose.
Well, one of us is guaranteed to lose. So.
Well, somebody said last week, it was either Russ or Mark, I think, one of them said, winning that first game like Cincinnati did, first one they won in 31 years, you got to win that first one, and then you get over the hump.
Yeah.
And I think that could happen in this game. I don't think Cincinnati's going to have any fear of Tennessee, whereas if they were playing at Buffalo or at Kansas City, I think it'd be a little bit different. So anyway, Dennis has got a comment here.
Yeah, he said, thoughts on this. If you like Tennessee, would you rather just bet the under? Because the only way I see them winning is if they can slow down Cincinnati. And also he says if they're going to win, I think it's by less than 3. So what are your thoughts on that logic and the over-under in general?
You know me, I don't like betting over-unders. That does make sense, though.
Yeah.
It does. I think that line is about where it's going to be. I think both teams are going to score.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll score a bunch, but I can see both of them being in the 20s. You know, it's just going to be, is it going to be low 20s or is it going to be mid 20s? What's it going to be? And that's why I don't like this over under at all.
Yeah, I agree. I think the score is something like 28-21, 28-24. 21-17, and it's just, where does it kind of hit? I think it's another game, and we've said this a lot, and it's last 3 or 4 minutes, and does that team that needs to get you over score or not? Like the Monday night game, the over-under was still in question. Arizona got the ball. The game was over, but they could have easily got a garbage touchdown there, and they didn't, and so it went under. So I feel like maybe it doesn't come down to a garbage touchdown, but I feel like it's going to come down to that last possession type of thing. Yeah. So
it's going to be a good one.
I don't like the over-under either way. Honestly, I'm just not – I'm going to bet all 4 of them. This is probably going to be the least amount I bet on the 4.
Yeah.
I just think Tennessee is a little bit better if Henry shows up and plays well in this game. So – Russ says Tennessee will be ready to control the clock and frustrate the Cincy offense. I think that's the key, and that's again why I go back to Henry. They can use Henry, short passing game, eat up the clock, take the ball away from Cincinnati. I think they lull them into sleep, and I think they win this game. Isaac thinks Tennessee will lose. So Isaac thinks Cincinnati going to be able to have some success, maybe outscore them in this game. And yeah, if it works, I don't know. I'm with you. It's like that's the key to the game. That's what they're going to try to do. I'm just not sure if that'll work or not, so we'll see what happens.
Weather game. That's why they play the game.
That's right. Weather might be a deciding factor. Sydney says, I haven't even looked at the forecast of this game. I just assumed Tennessee, it wouldn't be that bad. Are we heading for bad weather there?
First of the week, I heard it was like 30 in the 30s, I think.
That is cold.
The weather changes.
I'm going to look it up right now. Look at this. Live on air, looking up a weather forecast for Nashville. All right.
There you go.
Okay. Drum roll, please. It's supposed to snow a little bit today. Let's see. Saturday, 39. Sunny, though. So it's cold, but
that's perfect.
Should be okay.
If it's not windy, it's perfect.
All right, let's move on to the next one. And I think this is another game that Papa Dude, I think, let's see. Who did you like here? Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, so let's go to Green Bay and San Francisco. San Francisco on the road for the second straight week. This time they are a 6-point underdog. They were a 3-point underdog last week against the Cowboys and won outright. Now they're 6-point underdog against the Packers. The Packers have lost at home a lot in the playoffs the last few years. Will they take another loss this weekend, Papa Dude?
I don't think it's going to happen this weekend, but it won't surprise me if it does. A lot of storylines here. Sometimes having a bye week hurts a team.
Mm-hmm.
And the Packers rested a lot of their guys in their last game of the regular season. Some of them haven't played much for like 3 weeks. The pressure is intense on them. They're hearing it.
Yeah.
Here we got the home field again. Are we going to blow it again? And they're playing a pretty damn good team. And so I would be scared to death if I was a Packers fan. I just don't know if Garoppolo can win it for them. I just don't know. I'm not a hater, that's for sure. I don't hate him. I think he's decent. I think you can win with him. I don't know if he can win a Super Bowl. And I just don't know. I'm quite confident that Aaron Rodgers is going to play well. I think the Packers have almost all the advantages in this. The thing about the Packers, they throw the ball to their backs a lot. So their receivers don't have big numbers with the exception of Adams because they throw the ball to those running backs so much. So that's kind of a key. I think Green Bay's got the edge in everything. It's just, will they be able to beat the 49ers when they have to? And let's face it, the 49ers are tough. They're not going to roll over. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. The biggest thing is I think the 49ers are a pesky type of team, but they just seem to be kind of overmatched in all the categories. And you broke it down: quarterback, take Aaron Rodgers; running back, when you add in that how they catch the ball in the backfield, we'll take Green Bay. Wide receivers, I think 49ers do have the advantage, like you said, but it's not that Green Bay has bad receivers. Offensive line, not the same. Defense, Green Bay's been a little better this year, and I think that's the big key. The Green Bay defense has been good. I think they frustrate them. It's a night game in Green Bay. It's going to be cold. A lot of people are chiming in. Going to be very cold. I agree. Isaac, Dennis, you both say the same thing I'm going to say. I think that's going to affect them. I'm taking the Packers minus the 6 here. I kind of think this one might get away. And it looks like you're taking San Francisco over 21 points. I think that's interesting. I'm
going to tell you why.
Okay.
In just a second.
Okay.
Now, early in the season, Green Bay played great defensively. They have not down the stretch. They gave up, let's see here. All right. They gave up 34 to Minnesota on the 21st of November, then 28 to the Rams, 30 to the Bears, 30 to the Ravens. They allowed that wonderful Cleveland offense to score 22.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how many starters played against Detroit, but they gave up 37. in that game. So their defense has not played as well as they did early in the season. And I think the 49ers will score on them. I do. I don't think Green Bay's defense is that good. The weather probably will be a factor. But I'm telling you something, San Francisco is not the warmest place in the United States of America. A lot of people think it's in California, it's warm. San Francisco's colder than hell. So it's not as cold as Green Bay, but I just think if I was going to take the point spread, I mean, I think Green Bay's going to win, but I'd take San Francisco and the points.
Yeah, I think Green Bay covers it here. I agree with this too. I don't trust Jimmy G when he's healthy. Now he has a hand and shoulder injury. I'm going to use the pack in a teaser. I'm with you. The Jimmy G versus Rodgers thing. And the other thing about it, the Dallas game, it seemed like they were going to blow them out. And then they made mistakes. Jimmy G threw a terrible interception. And by the time that game was over, it's like, man, they were lucky to win that game. So I don't know. Russ says the pack win easy. Sydney says, I see Green Bay winning, but not covering. So we've got some consensus, or we don't have a consensus here. We've got some argument amongst the comments here. I feel like you lean towards where Cindy's thinking, and I'm leaning more towards Russ, Jason, Dennis, and Isaac, and saying I think Green Bay covers here. I think this one is the only one that could maybe not get out of hand, but maybe a double-digit win in the end. So
if it is, it'll be late.
Yeah, okay, I could definitely buy that for sure. All right, let's move on to a place where it won't be cold. That's Tampa, Florida. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers set to host the Los Angeles Rams. Tampa Bay, a 3-point favorite in this game. However, the first time these two met, the Rams got the better of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's got a lot of injuries. What do you think here? Tampa -3. What do you think is going to happen in this one?
Well, this one was extremely hard for me. I think the Rams may have a better overall team than Tampa does.
Mm-hmm.
But at the bottom line for me, I don't bet against Tom Brady. I just don't. And I think Stafford's just as good as he is, but not in crunch time. He's not proven it yet. He was really good last Monday night. He got that monkey off his shoulder. He got a win. And I think that's going to really help him. I think LA may be better overall than Tampa. But I tell you what worries me the most, and I'm a Brady fan, and so I'm rooting for the Bucks. What bothers me the most is the injuries that Tampa has and missing Chris Godwin, the wide receiver, who was having a year almost as good as Cooper Kupp. And by the way, he doesn't get enough credit for what he's done. Yeah. It's an amazing season for him. This is going to be a hell of a game. I will be shocked if this one doesn't come down to maybe the last drive of the game.
All right, you ready for this one?
I know.
I'm taking the Rams plus the 3. And my only worry is Stafford. That's my only worry of this game. I thought even though they blew out Arizona, that was embarrassing. I don't even want to talk about that game for Arizona. It was awful. He was not good in that game. Stafford did not play very well. The rest of that team looked great. And I'm telling you, and I said it when these two teams played in the regular season, that defensive line is a really tough matchup for Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Because what does Brady need? Time.
Absolutely.
And he ain't going to get it. So it's going to come down to, can they scheme up, something to get the ball out of his hand fast that's also effective and they can drive down the field. They're not going to be able to throw down the field. They're just not. This defensive line is good. And then, like you said, you take out the fact that their top receiver is out. Harder for guys to get open. I know they still got a couple guys, but it's going to be tougher for them to get open. I think Tampa's in big trouble moving the ball. I don't see them scoring a ton of points in this game. Where I see myself losing is Stafford does dumb things, doesn't play very well, turns the ball over, just can't make a play. I think if Stafford goes down there and plays a decent game, I'm going to go, or I'm going to say Rams by 10 points. I really believe that. If the Rams have success on offense, they're going to win this game.
Well, another key too, how healthy is Leonard Fournette? Because when Tampa can run the ball, they are damn tough to stop. And they have very little running game if he's not healthy. Now, they held him out last week, and I'm assuming he's going to play. The last I checked, he's practicing. So he's going to have a big game. And I could see Brady throwing some stuff out of the backfield to him also. They're going to have a plan. I mean, they're well coached.
They are, yeah.
They're experienced, this is nothing new to them. So they're going to have a plan, and it's two heavyweights going at one another. That's for sure. And it's going to be a great game. One I'm really looking forward to.
I'm not saying the Saturday games are bad, because they're not. They're very good. I can't wait for them. These Sunday games are off the rails good. Like these two games, if they're bad, if they're bad games, it's just like that's terrible luck, because these should be barn burners. Go ahead.
They've saved the best for last. These are Super Bowl type games, both of them.
Yeah.
I'll even make a thing right now and say whoever wins these two games will be in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I really believe that.
I think you're right. I think that's where I'll lean next week. I mean, listen, you get another data point this week. Maybe those two teams that we aren't going to pick look great and we change our mind. But as of right now, I'm leaning the winner of this one and the winner of the next one we're going to talk about are going to play in the Super Bowl, and that'll be a hell of a game as well. Dennis says this line is probably going to move. The juice right now at the Rams +3 is minus 120. And what that means is, like Dennis points out very clearly and correctly, it's probably going to move to 2.5 or 2.5, I should say. So that's look for that to happen. So if you like the Rams plus the 3, get them now. Is kind of what we're seeing there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dennis watches those lines, and he knows those lines better than anybody I know.
Yeah, Dennis with the lines and the juice, certainly not steroids. The juice for the bookies.
I totally trust when he thinks something like that's going to happen.
Right. Yeah. Russ says he likes the Rams more every day. Tampa's offensive injuries really concern. Yep, no doubt about it. Jason says Tom Brady rushing yard over 1.5. That's a DGen bet, Jason. But you know what? He's one of the best. That's a weird thing about it. He's one of the best quarterback sneak guys in the league.
Yeah,
he really is. So maybe. City says, love the Rams here. Brady going to show his age in this game. I've been burned by Brady in the past, so I'm not going to say it, Sydney, because I don't want to jinx myself again. But I've thought that in the past with him, and he's come through. I think it's more of that defensive line is a bad matchup for him. John Doe says, keep up the show. Such a fan. We will. And thank you very, very, very much. That's very nice. Let's see. Break score touchdown at plus 410. That's pretty good odds there. Rams have averaged 1 interception per game. I'm also interested in Brady interception over 0.5. I would take it.
I would take that for sure.
Because again, you got receivers they're still, like I said, they got a couple good ones still, but they're shaky overall. He's going to get pressured. I could see it happening. So,
go ahead, Aaron.
I was going to say, she said Rivera, but she meant Arians should be suspended for this game for hitting the player. What do you think of that?
Me?
Yeah.
I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I know. You don't think he should be suspended?
Absolutely not. He didn't hit the other team's player, and he didn't hit him anyway. It was a slip. He was trying to grab him. I really believe that. I think he was grabbing at him.
I don't think so.
You think he was trying to hit him?
Yes.
The guy's got a helmet on. If anything, he was going to break his own hand.
Well, I know. I've never understood why people like football players swing at each other with helmets on. It's like, you guys are dumb. Come on.
Now, if he'd have swung at the other team, yes. But I'm just glad to see he can move like that. I'm very afraid for his health.
He did move very, very quickly on that.
Well, I don't know. Okay, here's what we don't know. We don't know what the guy was saying, because his actions weren't that much. I didn't, from what I saw, and I've only seen it a couple of times, I don't think he was going after anybody. He was mouthing
Yeah, from the outside looking in, he didn't look like a guy that needed to be punched, But again, we don't know what he was
We
saying.
don't know what he was saying. He obviously went off.
Yeah,
I think the guy would be doing that if he didn't. He'd been around too long. I'm not going to say I ever hit a player because I didn't, but I've grabbed them. I'm going to tell you that. Stuff like that. If they're going after an official, I guarantee you I've grabbed them.
You didn't hit them because they ducked, right?
No, I've never ever done that. But yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. There was something else here I was going to comment on. I don't know what it was, but anyway. I know what I was going to say about Brady.
Okay.
I don't want to come on here Monday if they lose and hear a bunch of you guys saying Brady's too old.
Okay.
I don't want to hear that.
What if he looks terrible?
Well, my God, he's 44 years old. I mean, it's kind of like Betty White died, and it's such a tragedy. Betty White was 99 freaking years old.
Yeah.
What kind of, I love Betty White. I thought she was an American treasure, a wonderful person. But she's 99 years old. This is not a tragedy.
Yeah.
I'm like, my God, she almost made it to 100.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a success story.
We just blow things just so much out of proportion. He's 44. He is too damn old to be playing in the NFL. It is an amazing thing what this guy has done. It's just
if you're watching the screen, I just highlighted something for all the people saying he's too old. He's thrown for 5,587 yards, 45 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions.
With no running game most of these.
And receivers that are walking off the field or getting hurt.
He lost his best receiver. This guy might have had the best year he's ever had.
Right.
He might have.
And who would have thought, Magic, that the Papa Dude rant would be about Betty White today?
Well, I love Betty White. And it bothered me when I heard it. In fact, I thought she was dead anyway. But last I knew, she was 98. I mean, and speaking of someone who's nearing, I'm just glad I wake up every morning. And not only that, most people that are 99 or 95 or 90 don't know who they are, where they are, or anything else. And she was still able to do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if you asked Betty White, she would tell you, oh my God, what a life I had.
Yeah.
So, all the tributes to her are great, and she deserves every single one of them. But come on, people, she's 99. It's not a tragedy.
I thought she was, that one got me too, Jason. I thought she was dead anyway.
I'm not, I did. I thought you, I thought, well,
Magic asked a good question. How could it bother you if you thought she was dead anyway? Okay. So maybe that's why you don't.
Well, I really just didn't. I thought she was dead, but because I hadn't heard anything about her. I thought John Madden was dead too.
Okay. Now, to be fair on both of them, they had been out of the limelight.
Yeah.
They and I had heard with her once COVID hit, she was just kind of like, I'm staying in, and I'm 90. Well, she was 97, I guess, when it hits. She's like, I'm cool with staying in anyway.
Oh, I saw another little deal come across my phone. Here's a picture of Betty White. She looks so frail. Really? She's 99.
Right? Yeah, I would think so.
She looked frail when she was 92.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's move on. Who did you pick? Hold on. Who did you pick in this game? I went the Rams. You went Tampa.
We went opposite.
All right. Let's go on to the last one. All right. So if anybody's left watching, the Buffalo Bills go on the road this weekend to take on the Kansas City Chiefs in what might be the best game in the NFL this year if it lives up to the hype. This line started off at -3 for the Kansas City Chiefs. It dropped to 2.5. It is now 1.5. That's right. The Chiefs now just a 1.5 point favorite. All right. This is the big one, in my opinion, the best game of the weekend. Where are we going here?
Well, first of all, I got to make something clear. I loved Betty White. In fact, The other day, I think it was Monday maybe or Tuesday, we sat down to eat supper, and we always watch Andy Griffith,
All right.
and they were running specials of the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
For all you young pups, that's what Betty White was probably most famous for.
Yeah.
And I died laughing. It was the funniest thing. She was great. All right, let's get back to the football. I like this one from Cindy.
Cindy said this will probably be the worst game of the weekend. That's how it goes sometimes. But
okay, this one's real simple for me too.
okay.
These teams are really even, I think. I think Josh Allen would be rated over almost any quarterback except Mahomes. I think he's playing great. You look at his stats: 4,718 yards, 41 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, and oh yeah, he's run for about 800 yards too.
Yeah.
The guy has been fantastic. So, you got to give the edge to Mahomes just because he's done it. He's proved more than Allen has proved. And that's why I'm going with Mahomes on this. Running back, I don't think either one's great there. Receivers, they both have great receivers. Buffalo's are underrated probably. The Chiefs, those guys are so good. Defensively, definitely Buffalo has the advantage. So bottom line is I just went with Mahomes because the point spread is so low. And I think you just pick the team you think you're going to win because the point spread it was 1.5. Is it still at? Or did it go back up?
No, it's 1.5. It's 1.5.
I think we both did the same thing, didn't we? We kind of went with the Chiefs kind of along those lines.
So, yeah, I mean, if you've listened to us all year, everybody was like, what's wrong with the Chiefs? What's wrong with the Chiefs? What's wrong with the Chiefs? Early when they were losing. I was like, they always have made mistakes and been bad in some areas, but Mahomes has played so good and he's just covered up all their problems. He didn't play very good the first 6-7 games of the year, and they looked average. They looked like an average team with an average quarterback. Guess what? He started playing really well the second half of the year. The Chiefs kept making stupid-ass mistakes, but it didn't matter because he was just that damn good. Think of the Pittsburgh game, is nothing. They fumble on a stupid trick play. Pittsburgh scores, but they can cover it up because they've got Mahomes, And yeah, the receivers can get open. They've got great players, but he's the key. And the key to the game is very simple. What defensive line can disrupt the quarterback the most? That's the winner. I think it's the Chiefs. I think their line will be able to pressure Allen enough and force him into a mistake or two, and I think they'll beat him just because of that. I expect Mahomes to play a great game. There's no reason not to. Last year, Buffalo came into Kansas City in a situation, they were one game further along in the playoffs, and they got smoked.
Right.
But this year, Buffalo came to Kansas City and smoked them. So, you can make it both ways, but I'm going to trust Pat Mahomes over Allen. And like I said, I think Allen is the second best quarterback in this league, and especially the last half of the season. They're kind of similar. He wasn't playing great either. Half of the year, he's been fantastic.
Well, the Bills were 7-6, and we were bashing them, thinking maybe this team isn't as good as we thought.
Yeah,
and they took advantage of a pretty weak schedule. The only real game they had on there was New England, and they went to New England and thumped them. And then that's when I started getting back on the bandwagon. And then if you just watched last week and the way they manhandled New England, you would pick them in this game.
Yeah.
I do think that Allen I think he'll benefit from that game last year. That was the first big game he'd been in, really big, defining moment type of game that he'd been in. So he's going to benefit from that with that experience. I think he's playing with a world of confidence right now.
Yeah.
But it's one of those games where I just feel like Mahomes is going to win it for the Chiefs.
I do too. Dennis kind of mentions that he's seen a lot of sharps on the Bills. I have too. That's why that line moved. Now, Dennis says it's back up to 2 on Bet365. So maybe it's going to move up a little bit. But yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of sharps on the Bills. that 51.5, Dennis went over. So he said, hey, we'll root for some points and a little leery of a side one way or the other. That's not a bad way to go about it. It should go over that. It really should. But again, it's a lot of points in the NFL.
Now that's gone down too, Aaron, because when I wrote the article, it was 54.5.
Yep. I remember discussing that.
Yeah, I would have definitely taken the under, the 54.5. So that's come down also. Because I wrote the article yesterday.
Yep. Sydney looks like she's going to go with the Bills. It says Allen makes KC defense look like a college team. Mahomes will throw at least 2 interceptions.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, well, that's yes, but I could see it just because I've seen it this year. Early in the year, that's what it looked like when they played. Mahomes was awful, and Allen killed him. But I just, they also lost to the Chargers early in the year too, and I don't know. I'm just.
Well, Sandy, here's the deal too. With us, we see the Chiefs every week. I don't know whether you do or not.
Oh yeah.
We see. I'm talking about Cindy. We see every game.
Yeah.
We see every game that they play.
Yeah,
and we know them better than anybody because that's where we live. So we see replays. We see everything.
It probably
may be a little biased because.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Well, yeah. I was just going to piggyback and say he's exactly right. We probably are, even though we're not fans, we're still probably biased on them because we have 24/7 coverage on our televisions all the time on the Chiefs. This is Chiefs country. So you're probably right. And I think at times during the season, I have missed them because of what Papa Dude kind of laid out. So, it's kind of like when we talk about OU. Yeah, I mean, we're fans of them. But again, we have 24/7 coverage of OU. So we may lean one way or the other, because of that. So you might be right, but I don't think it's a bias for Mahomes. The guy's pretty damn good. So the 2 INTs would surprise me, but Josh Allen going up and down the field and them outscoring them, or maybe Mahomes is on the last drive, throws a pick, something like that. Not gonna be surprised. But I do think Allen will have a lot of success in this game. I just think the Chiefs will have a little bit more. So, like you with North Dakota State. Exactly.
Right. And I do think home field advantage makes a difference in this game.
And funny with this North Dakota State comment, I remember you were like, yeah, I think they're going to win. And I don't know what they were favored by 7 or 10 or whatever. And you're like, I don't know about the points. And Papa Dude and I were like, they'll cover that. So the fandom and knowing sometimes the more you know, the more you kind of get nervous or have overconfidence one way or the other.
It's the fear of losing, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, that's it. That's it for the NFL. Man, I can't believe we're already to this point. It feels like the college football season shouldn't be over now. So, Dennis, I didn't put that comment up, but I did see it.
Dennis, what game was that in?
Thought it was funny.
Was that the Buffalo New England game?
Yes. Yeah, that's a Buffalo. Only in Buffalo would that happen. Trust me on that. Exactly. I don't know if any of you guys ever been to Buffalo. I've seen the sunshine once in Buffalo, and I've been through there what seems like a million times. So, seen the sun once in Buffalo. Anyway, all right. We'll move on here real quick to college basketball. I know you've been following it. Kind of look at the games coming up this weekend. Give us a couple games to watch for. And also, you can go on the site right now and get his game for tonight. He has Utah State -1, plus a lot of other predictions on here as well. You get those every day on the website if you want more college basketball. You can just go right there. But go ahead. What are you looking forward to college basketball?
Well, I tell you, I'm having so much fun because I'm hitting them. Now, if I was missing them, I would not be saying this, but the last 2 nights, because in college basketball, because of TV, they have different tiers of games. Like there'll be a whole bunch of them tip off at 6, and then there'll be some at 7, and then there'll be some at 8, and then the West Coast games are late. Mm-hmm. So the 8 o'clock games all are ending at the same time. And the last 2 nights, I've had 6 of them I'm waiting for. And I'm sitting there watching on ESPN, I'm watching the scoreboard updates and stuff because I don't have 6 TVs to watch all 6 games at the same time.
Right.
So anyway, I'm following them, the play-by-play on ESPN's website. All 6 of them are down to the wire. I mean, down to the wire. And I got a game on TV, and then I'm flipping to another one. And my wife is just saying, what in the hell is wrong with you? And anyway, so I've hit 5 of those last 6 the last 2 nights.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm watching these, and guy, it just comes down to luck. Who can make a shot and who doesn't?
Yeah.
There's no skill involved in picking these games right now. It's just luck. And right now I'm in the luck part, and I'm really worried it's going to end here before.
Well, these, like you said, these conference games, these teams are so evenly matched.
They are, and they know each other, frontwards and backwards. But again, I've not been able to watch college basketball the last 8 years because I was coaching high school basketball, and I never was home. So now I'm home, and I'm getting reintroduced to it. And man, there are some great games going on, and now we're getting close to trying to figure out who's going to make the tournament and all of that, and all of these games make so much difference. There is a great game tonight if you're a basketball fan.
Okay.
Purdue has a great team. They played, I believe it was Monday, double overtime win at Illinois, another really good team. That was a great game. They go to their arch rival tonight, Indiana. And Indiana is good. They're 13-4. And I went ahead and picked Purdue. I've watched them both. I think Purdue's a little better, but this is a toughie. And this is not one of my best bets. This is just one that I picked. This is going to be a good one. So if you really like basketball and you don't have anything to do tonight, tune that in. That's going to be a fantastic game. Other games tonight are late.
Real quick before you move on, you picked Purdue to win this one, 81-76, and Jason has Indiana plus 3.5. So you guys are going to be opposite ends here. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Jason, I went round and around on it, and if I hadn't watched Purdue the other day against Illinois, I would pick Indiana also. But I just really think in the end, now here's another thing, Jason. I've been watching these tight ones all week long, and it seems like the best teams are winning right at the end. Now that trend could stop, and that's what I'm kind of riding on this. I think they're a little better than Indiana, and that's why I'm going with them, because I've been seeing a good example last night was Kentucky. They went to Texas A&M. And Texas A&M is 15-2 or 16-2. They had that place packed. It was unbelievable, the atmosphere in that building last night. And A&M's a football school, but they were ready for Kentucky. When Kentucky comes to town, you're ready if you've got a good team. And they had it packed. And they got up, Texas A&M got up 21-8 in that game. We're just blowing Kentucky off the floor. What happened? The old poise of Kentucky and the fact that they're Kentucky hung in there, and in the last 2 minutes held Texas A&M to nothing and beat them by 6 points. And that's kind of why I'm going with Purdue. But Jason, I would not be one bit surprised if Indiana wins. The good games tonight are late. The West Coast games are pretty good tonight. You got UCLA goes on the road to Utah. Utah's not very good, but you're on the road. That's not easy. Arizona goes to Stanford. This is one that if you really want to bet one, this is one I kind of like. 10.5-point favorites for Arizona at Stanford. That's a lot of points. Stanford upset USC a week ago. So that's the one you might look at. And the other one, USC goes to Colorado. That's a 1.5-point game. I picked it. I went this way. I think Colorado will upset them.
Really?
USC is not playing very well. So I went with an upset on that one. Another good one down there, Gonzaga, number 1 again. They play San Francisco, which is 15-3, but it's a little misleading. Their schedule hasn't been that good. And anyway, there's not as many great games tonight. I got to be honest with you. I haven't looked ahead to Saturday yet. I'm going one day at a time, but I guarantee you there's some dandies on Saturday. Tomorrow night's usually kind of a flat night for college basketball.
Well, and if you want to know about Papa Dude's picks for Saturday, you just go to the website. I guarantee you they will be there. So
give me till about 9:30 Central Time Saturday morning. It takes me a little while to figure it out. And I do want you people to know I work my ass off on these. I mean, I'm pretty serious about it. I'm not just throwing shit out there. And I go through a lot of them. Oh, Kentucky and Auburn is Saturday. Whoa. Russ has put Kentucky and Auburn Saturday. Ooh. Oh my God. Where's that game at, Russ?
Ooh, that's gonna be a good one.
That's must. And anything in the Big 12 is fantastic.
Yeah.
I sat down today, Aaron, and I know we got to get going, but I started kind of listing teams that are maybe tournament worthy, and some of these smaller conferences get an automatic bid, so that takes away others, and that's fine. That's what makes March Madness what it is. These smaller teams. I've got 81 teams written down right now for 68 spots. So a lot of this will be decided in the weeks ahead, but anyway, it's a lot of fun. And like I said, right now I'm 18-7 on my best bets, and I'm just hoping I get another one tonight. I just go one day at a time.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, he's putting a lot into this basketball.
Oh, it's fun. It's not work. It's fun.
I know, but I'd say you're definitely working hard on it for sure.
If you see a best bet for me, I didn't just get up and put that on there. I analyzed it and analyzed. That don't mean it's going to be right, but I analyzed. Now, if you want to see the other side of things, you go to the NBA, and that's a whole different story.
Yeah, you're struggling a little bit to get the grasp of the NBA, but that's all right.
What everybody does. It's hard.
It is.
Quick story from last night, and I wrote that in my NBA article. I'm not doing awful, but I'm tough. I almost picked Louisville last night, Dennis. I got a little bit scared of them because they weren't playing very good, but I almost picked that game last night, and I chickened out. Anyway, NBA, I've been struggling to get back to the 500 mark on my best bets. I started off 5-10.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get anything.
Yeah.
Well, I've rallied. So I got the first one last night, and I had one more. Okay, so that evened my record at 11-11. Okay, so there were 4 games left, and they were all on the West Coast. And I went to bed about 10:30, and they were about halftime. All those were at halftime, and I was confident on all of them. Now, money line, I'm about 55-35 on the money line, so I'm doing okay there, but not the best bet. So the last game I had was my second best bet was the Indiana Pacers with a record of 15-29 at LA, the Lakers.
Yep.
At 20, whatever they are, 22-22, whatever they are. But 2 nights before, the Lakers had beat Utah, which is one of the best teams in the league. And I'm thinking, okay, the Lakers are starting to get – I just keep thinking they're going to make a run, but I'm beginning to think they're not. So I went to bed. They're up 6, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I went in, and Sandy goes, boy, coming to bed early. And I said, I think I got these. I get up this morning. No, the Pacers beat them.
Yeah.
Not only that, somebody else lied. Oh, Houston.
Yeah.
12-32 beat Utah at Utah. So I was hoping I was going to go 10-3 on the money line for the night. I ended up 8-5, which is okay. And instead of getting both my best bets, I went 1-1, and I'm still below the 500 mark.
Yeah, the Lakers are just – you keep picking them too.
I'm done.
Stop picking the Lakers.
I want to be pistol whipped if I pick them again. I thought that was a sure thing last night. I really did.
I did too. I read your stuff and I'm like, yeah, well, they'll cover because they weren't favored by very much. I thought,
no, it was just 3.5.
Yeah, they're just. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think they're going to come out of it at all. Yeah. So make sure to check out the website though for those college picks, and in an NBA, I'm sure you'll get going. It's.
I don't know. They're hard. They really are.
And then if you like hockey, there's NHL picks. You can go up to the top here, click on free NHL picks right there, and every game, every night. Big week so far, 13-6 right now.
Oh,
Got all three of them last night. Two of them were underdogs as well. Arizona came through, and also the Rangers beat the Maple Leafs. So, yeah, it's been going good. We got 9 games tonight, and what you are with college basketball, that's what I am with hockey.
sure.
I just turn on ESPN Plus and flip through all the games all night long. So it's been great. They used to not be on ESPN Plus. So and they were on like NHL. You had to buy a special package. I never did it because we get the Blues. I'm a Blues fan. We get them. So I was like, yeah, that's okay.
Sure.
But now that they're on ESPN Plus, I watch them all. So doing well. And let's hope that continues as well. Hey, what's the most difficult sport to handicap? Baseball, hockey, basketball, or football? Baseball, 1,000% for me. What about you?
Never handicapped baseball because I hate it. Fixing to find out though. This summer, I would think that would be really hard.
Yeah.
Baseball. The thing with baseball is you can be a really good team going up against a really crappy team, and they got a good pitcher, and they beat you. And I mean, I haven't really got. I'll be honest. When I start that'll be the first for me. So I'll have to kind of learn what all you can do with baseball. Just picking games, I think would be really, really hard. Hockey, I think once you get to know hockey and you follow it and you know the teams, I don't think it's that hard. Do you, Aaron?
Year in and year out, I have the most success betting hockey.
Yeah.
Always have. I started about 5-6 years ago. And honestly, now that I can watch the games, I'm doing even better. I usually just had to look at box scores, stats, stuff like that. No, I love to bet hockey. I absolutely love. It's my favorite sport to bet, but by far. Baseball is my least. I hate it. Basketball, oddly enough, I like small conference basketball games. I usually do better on those. I don't touch the NBA, never have. And I like to bet football 50-50. I mean, I think some weeks I'm really good and some weeks I'm not. I mean, you can tell on the show.
I think football is really hard.
Yep.
I really do.
Tough. Yep.
I can get all the winners. I get winners most of the time. Those spreads are really difficult. Vegas does a hell of a job with those.
I think Vegas is real zoned in. I mean, they're zoned in on everything, but football, they really are. That's their moneymaker. That's what people want to bet the most. So,
I tell you what I do on the money lines too. I bet a lot of those small college, those mid majors.
Yep.
And I do well on those. The money line, you got to bet a bunch to make some. But if you'll go in there and you'll find one that's like a 15-point favorite, they may not cover.
Yeah.
But you bet the money line, they're going to win. They get those pretty good. So anyway, I think football is really hard. To me right now, the NBA, and here's the deal with the NBA. They're all good. I mean, these guys have got good players. And if you don't, it's like the NFL, if you don't show up, you're going to get beat. And sometimes it's hard to keep going in the NBA. Season's so long, travel and all of that. You can show up flat pretty easy.
Yeah, I agree. I've never had a lot of luck with the NBA. It's been really hard. And Jason said hockey's tough with the randomness of the games. You kind of, when that happens, it's kind of like a 40-1 shot winning in a horse race. You just have to be like, well, you could have had that one. Because like sometimes, a team like, let's just throw out Montreal because they're terrible this year. They'll go beat, I think they play in Vegas tonight. They'll beat them. And
they could beat them, yeah.
You can't predict it,
No, and hockey's a little bit like baseball.
Yeah, the goalie.
You get a hot goalie and he stones them. Yeah. They may have 50 shots and the other team's got 10 and they only get one behind him and the other team scores and beats them 2-1. They've dominated the game and lost because of the goalie. And that happens sometimes. Yeah.
And like Magic said, ESPN Plus has made hockey so much better. It has. It's been fantastic. Jason says baseball is impossible now with starters going less than 5 innings. That's another thing. You got the bullpens, and it just adds so many more factors. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. When baseball season gets here, I don't know what we're gonna. We may shut down the site. I don't know.
No, we're not. I need the money. So that's
okay. Well, yeah.
I'll have to get interested in it, and it's going to be hard. But I can't watch a baseball game anymore. I just can't. Now, if I go to the park, I go to the ballpark.
Yeah,
I guess it's different. I haven't been to a Major League Baseball game in a long time, but we got a minor league team around here, and I've gone a couple times, and I kind of like it. It's the atmosphere or whatever. But sitting and trying to watch one on TV, I can't do it anymore. And I used to watch them all the time.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah,
I just can't do it anymore. There's too many pitching changes, as Jason said.
Totally. So, and this is good. I like this, Dennis. He said that's why I really only look at first 5 innings. So you can bet a baseball game for the first 5 innings who's ahead. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
I get my ass kicked with that too, Dennis. So, so I can't really do it.
Right there for Cindy.
Baseball TV is my sleeping pill. Out in less than 2 minutes. Cindy, 1,000%.
Yeah, I can make it 2 innings.
Yeah, I couldn't make it. I thought she said 2 minutes. I could make it 2 minutes, not 2 innings.
I don't think I can even tell you the 2 teams that played in the World Series this year.
There's no way. I haven't watched a full baseball game in years.
Was it the Dodgers? No,
I think the Dodgers won it maybe this year. I don't know.
I know they won it either this year or last.
As you could tell, the podcast is not going to be great when baseball starts. We'll have to come up with something else to talk about.
Yeah.
Luckily,
that's only going to be about 1 month.
Yeah.
Where we don't have anything.
Because the playoffs spill over too long, and then football starts earlier and earlier, and it just kind of we missed. Honestly, I told you the other day, it coincides with Saratoga and Del Mar season. So maybe we'll just handicap those tracks during that time period.
I'm just as crappy. That's the hardest, folks. That's the hardest, horse racing.
Horse racing, yeah. That's why this website exists. Exactly.
By the way, who you got this week in the what have we got? The American Beauty?
Yeah, I went with Little Tootsie in the American Beauty.
Little Tootsie. I think that's a nice.
That's Magic Denai's horse. So yeah. Here, I want to throw this up. Speak of Saratoga. Jason says, better get your ass to Toga this summer. He said it to Magic. I'm saying it to you. It's a challenge to you and Magic. You're both coming to Saratoga this summer.
Let's see. That starts in July.
Yep.
That timing might be just right.
I'm telling you. It's great.
I think that might be doable.
Yeah, and the big changes up at Toga. You get to meet Jason. He'll be there.
Yeah, the problem I have, guys, is Sandy and I cannot stay away from the beach.
Well,
we just can't. So maybe we could drive up there for the weekend and then drive on down to the beach.
Well,
maybe
you can work from anywhere now, right? So
no, that's not it. It's just finagling it to where we have enough time to do all this.
Time. I mean, you're not going to be at the beach all July and all of August. So
I know that's what I'm saying. It might be doable. I'm thinking maybe go to the beach for a week like we always do, and then drive up to New York for a couple of days and maybe do that.
You could jump on a flight to Albany.
I don't fly.
Okay, so all right. Sandy came up with a topic, or not a topic, but the segment. Just one more thing.
Yes.
One more thing. So I do have one. Just one more thing. Do you have one today? Do you have anything you want to say?
No.
Oh, it's me. I get to do it. All right. I'll run off all of the people that are left. Actually, a lot of people left. I'll run them all off here. I got to talk about wrestling. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I apologize. My favorite wrestler of all time is Sting. This is a guy that was main eventing in the 80s, in the 90s, in the 2000s, in the 10s, now the 20s. This guy is 62 years old. He is still main eventing.
Tom Brady.
He is perhaps the greatest athlete I've ever watched because of this. The guy's 62.
62.
Does he look like he does when he's 30? No, absolutely not.
I would hope not.
Is he moving like he did in the 90s? No, but he is still incredibly talented. This guy's one of the greatest athletes of all
62.
time.
Wow.
We're talking about 5 decades of main eventing shows and looking like you belong. in a main event. This guy was unbelievable. Last night, he was unbelievable. They put him with Darby Allin, who has just become my second favorite wrestler ever behind Sting, because Darby Allin is just, he's out of this world. He's unbelievable. And he's helped Sting a lot because they put him in tag matches and Darby can carry a show. But Sting, just last night, is just another fantastic performance. Every time they put him out there, and Dennis it's unbelievable what he does. He jumped off a stage through a table last night at 62 years old, and it didn't look like some old man doing it. It just looked like another wrestler. I can't get over it. I can't get to main event. And yes, wrestling is fake, but the toll that they get put,
I didn't know that.
but the toll that they take on their bodies is really brutal. These guys get beat up.
That's amazing.
For him to do it at 62 is unbelievable. He's rewriting his legacy as we speak. That is unbelievable to see in person from a guy who has been through the years. Yeah, there it is. There's one of my old T-shirts right there. For a guy through the years that has been able to do this.
She just went in the closet and got those out of the closet.
It's really quite incredible. Those T-shirts are from the 90s, folks.
That's true. They are.
In 1997, December of 1997, he main evented Starrcade.
I sure did not know he was still wrestling.
25 years later, he main events a show last night. Incredible performance again. I don't care what you think about wrestling, what you think about anything about what I'm saying about, what do you think about pro wrestling? This guy's a marvel. He's unbelievable. So I had to talk about it.
The other thing is he still likes doing it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the travel and all of that. Those are the things. The thing with Brady and all the practicing and all the workouts and all of the stuff he has to do to keep his body like that. Same with Sting.
Yep.
It's a ton of work. They have to absolutely love what they're doing. You just have to love it.
Yeah. So Sydney says Y2J as well. Chris Jericho, who she's talking about.
I've heard of him too. Yeah.
He's starting to not look like he needs to be doing this. That's the difference, in my opinion. Yeah, he's still there and he loves it and all that stuff, but he's starting to look like, yeah, you probably need to not do this. Maybe be an announcer, where he put Sting in a main event, and it's like, yeah, I can buy it. So it's incredible. I just had to talk about it. It's incredible.
Isn't he also a rock star?
No, different guy. Yeah, and that's just it. He had a major injury about 10 years ago, and they said, he's never going to wrestle again. And he shows up in AEW a year later, or not a year later, but a year ago. And it's
for those of us that don't know, what age do they usually get out to where they're not doing full time?
You shouldn't really and truly. If you're wrestling past 50, you probably need to get out. Now, some have been able to do it, but that's when they really start to slow down about mid 40s. Then they can last till 50, and then that's it. You need to get out.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
Hogan. How long did he last?
15 years too long.
Okay, so he should have been out. What, he's like 45.
He should have been out about 1998, and he held on for a long time.
Yeah, simply because of who he was, right?
Yeah, but the deal, like Hogan was still a huge brand, but then it was the build up to his matches were great, and he turned heel, and that made him kind of relaunched him. But you would get up to the match, and he couldn't perform, and so every time it'd be this build up, and then you'd go to the match, and it'd be like, that was awful, and that's what happens to they don't lose their ability to connect with the fans or build up a match, but they can't perform, and that's the difference.
Sure.
Right now. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I still want Papa Dude to watch one show. Yeah, I know. We gotta
money. How much money?
How much money?
Cindy gave me an idea. Cindy, maybe you can help us here. She says not big on wrestling, more curling up here. Could curling possibly be going on in July? Maybe we can handicap curling.
Maybe handicap. Yeah. I like that. Handicapping curling. I really like that. Jason says Jimmy Superfly Snuka and the Road Warriors, two classics. Yeah, very, very good. That was Little kid, real little kid when they were.
Well,
coming up.
Sandy loved Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, Ultimate Warrior, and that was one of my favorites as a little
I
kid.
liked him too.
Yeah, he was
Well,
great.
Let me
Yeah.
rephrase that. I knew who he was. I loved it. I used to kind of, sort of glance up every once in a while. When Undertaker, I thought he was really cool.
Yeah, Undertaker. Yeah.
Never could stand Stone Cold. I thought he was just a redneck. And I really liked The Rock. The Rock.
Yeah. The Rock. He was
a comedian. Yeah.
The Rock was, and Stone Cold, that was at the height of the wrestling era.
He was a character. He was a character.
Yeah, I know. He was really good. Really, really good.
And obviously, The Rock really didn't fit the stereotype a lot of people have of wrestlers, because if you've ever heard The Rock be interviewed, you talk about an intelligent person. He's not that the other guys aren't, but he's very, very intelligent. He was special. He really was.
Sydney mentions Mad Dog Vachon and his brother Butcher. Yeah, I've seen tapes. I've seen tapes of them. Listen, I have. It's true. I watch all this shit. So.
What was that? I can go back to the very. Oh, what was that? Andre
the Animal Steel ate all the turnbuckles. Yeah, I remember him.
Andre the Giant was the first one that I can ever remember, and that was ancient.
Yeah, Andre, probably one of the big first.
Yeah, he was
true big men in wrestling.
Yeah, he was a freak. I'll tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, I always loved the Undertaker. Giant, scary, imposing white dude. Wonder why I liked him. Yeah, he was magic. No, you're not scary, Magic. That's the thing.
The thing about him was, see, to me, I don't watch it now, but I sort of watched it then. Those were the glory days, I thought. But I'm sure it's like that now. The music when he would come out and everything.
Oh yeah,
Undertaker would come out. What was that other guy? Bald-headed guy. He was in the other league. Goldberg.
Oh, Goldberg. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. He was. Yeah. He took it like the world by storm, basically. Okay. Yeah. He was big time as well. Yeah. That's
good stuff.
Yeah. It was just. And it's cool because, Heather's into it now, and it's just, I don't know. I never thought we'd be back watching it.
I do want to say this.
And what the weirdest thing is? I wouldn't be watching it if it wasn't for Sting. He came back, and I was like, okay, I can't believe it. He's back. I'm going to watch this.
Is Heather sitting right there?
No, she's on another meeting. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure she won't watch this later, but
no.
She won't watch Andy Griffiths.
No,
she doesn't like
Seinfeld.
She won't watch Seinfeld. Yeah. Two of the greatest shows of all time.
Right.
I have the ultimate respect for her intelligence. Probably the smartest person I've ever known. And she's watching this shit, and it just absolutely shocked me. I can't believe it.
I'll tell you how it happened. Here's how it started. I would go down on Wednesday nights and watch this. And finally she was like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm watching the wrestling. Remember I told you about it? She goes, oh my God. So she said, well, I'll go down with you. And for 2 months, it was just making fun of it.
At a girl.
And then all of a sudden she's like, I kind of like this.
Oh no.
She's a bigger fan than I am. Darby Allin and Hook. That's what she is, just obsessed with those two. So and I know why. So I realize that. So Dennis says, I like how the chat watches it now too. That's right, Dennis. It used to just be you and I talking. Now everybody's talking about it. So anyway, I had to bring that up. I was just,
hey, are we gonna, not to change the subject, but yeah, go ahead. You done?
Yeah, I'm done. Are
you gonna handicap the Olympics?
I don't think you can. Can you bet the Olympics? I've never bet the Olympics.
Probably not.
I bet you could bet the hockey for sure.
Do you like the Olympics? The winter?
Love them. I'll watch every second of it that I can. I will watch every hockey game.
Does it bother you that the professional players aren't going to play?
It could be you, me, and Magic. I would watch it if it's Olympic hockey.
It cheapens it a little bit that they're not playing because I do like to watch them play in the hockey. Do you watch anything else in the Olympics? I see that. I like that a lot. Oh, that's a reference to why Heather likes it, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. You know, I didn't think of that, Magic. Sandy likes it too. Dadgummit.
Oh, that was great. Yes, you can bet some sports.
Okay. Now, do you
go ahead? What did you ask me?
Watch anything else on the Olympics besides the hockey?
Honest to God, I freaking love the Winter Olympics. Everything about the Winter Olympics.
I kind of do. I don't love it all. I'm kind of like you now. For you guys that still watching, the Olympics, of course, are the winter, and it's snowy, skiing and ice skating and all that. We don't have that around here,
right?
So most people around here don't even tune it in. They watch the Summer Olympics. Yeah. But I'm kind of like I don't like some of it. I do love to watch the skiing.
Love the skiing,
and I love those ski jumpers.
Love the speed skating.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, love the bobsled.
The ice skating gets a little bit tedious, but
love the ice skating.
I'll watch it.
I love all.
I'm talking about figure skating.
I'll watch it.
But those ski jumpers, holy cow! You talking about idiots?
Yeah.
God, you go flying through the air on those skis, and you're coming right down to the. I mean, those guys.
I'm telling you, talk about Saratoga. When you go, you got to go to Lake Placid, and you see all the stuff where they had the Olympics, and you see that ski jump in person. It's still there. It's unbelievable.
I wondered when some ski jumper like took his 6-year-old kid and said, "Come on, we'll teach you how to ski jump."
I don't know who the hell started that.
I wonder if that kid thought, "You don't like me very well. You trying to kill me doing this?" But it's good. Curtis says, "Is it morbid to watch the ski jumpers and wait for a crash landing?" Pretty much.
I mean, I probably wouldn't say it out loud like you just did, Magic, but okay,
I'm just the opposite. I don't really want to watch that. I'm afraid they'll take them out of there in a body bag.
Well, Magic's a sick individual. So
does he sit around and watch NASCAR and watch for a big crash?
Surely, yeah. That's the only reason he watches racing. See if a jockey gets thrown off.
Oh, now that is sick.
Yeah, that is sick, Magic. Sick person. What's a prop bet on that happening? Plus 500. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I love the Olympics. I'm
looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll talk about Ryan Stillman. He loves the Olympics too. So, I don't like the Summer Olympics quite as well.
Too many events, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's. You know what I don't like about it? There's too many features, and there's not enough of the event actually being shown. You watch a race, and then they go do something else for 15 minutes, and I don't know.
Yeah.
No, and I don't like it when it's not live.
I do like the swimming.
Love the swimming. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, the curling. We didn't mention that. We mentioned it earlier, but yeah, the curling I'm excited about for sure. Yeah. Curtis says Winter Olympics greater than Summer Olympics. There you go.
Okay. There you go. Well, he's from Michigan.
No, that's true. Yeah. All right.
I like it better when it's like in the United States where we're actually watching it live instead of over in Japan or China or somewhere where it's on tape.
Where are the Olympics this year? Any idea?
I'm sure Cindy knows. I don't know. I think it's in Europe, but I'm not sure.
I thought it was like China, maybe. I don't know.
Well, they got to have snow.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, because China had the sun. I don't know.
Well, they probably got some mountains somewhere.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Where it's at. I just think I'm excited. Yeah, China. China. Yeah, there you go. Okay, well,
golly, they may get the virus.
I think everybody's.
Beijing has mountains. I'm darn.
Supposedly, yeah.
Never been to China, and I never will go to China.
No, I probably won't either. No.
Okay, but, Curtis knows everything.
They're having problems with snowfall in the mountains, so they're going to mostly make artificial snow.
Okay,
there you go.
There we go. All right.
So if it's in China, that means
It's
I think it's gonna be off at like awful times.
Yeah, it is.
And I hate watching it taped, so I'll watch it live. Yeah, that's gonna suck. Okay, well, all right, that's it. We've done. We're not gonna sit here and complain.
One more thing lasted longer than the other part of the show.
Well, that usually does. All right, guys, as always, thank every single one of you for joining us. And if you're watching this on the replay or you're listening on podcast, we thank you very, very much. The viewership is growing for the show, and that's good. That means they're going to keep it around. The bosses have told me. Since I'm the boss, we'll probably stay around as long as I want to do it. So, all right, guys, we're going to get off here. We will talk to you, we'll do a Monday show. We'll talk to you on Monday. Hope everybody has a good weekend. And like I said, we'll see you right back here on Monday. What is up, everybody? And welcome to the first ever Dudes Who Bet Sports.
So you want to bet sports, but you need some advice on how to cash in big at a heck of a price. Well, if you want enough money to line your shorts, then you're in the right place. This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.